Yo, man, we back at it again. Yo, look, the last couple episodes that we've done, I've forgotten to say something, and I was like, yo, I got to make sure to say it. Yo, I want to give a shout out to. I feel like he's my cousin too. I feel like because we family. Shout out to Manny, for getting that official permanent driver for UPS. Man, the dude wanted it. Got to give him a shout out, man. He was really happy about that. I told him I'd give him a shout out on the podcast. Forgot about that shit, so I wanted to make sure I did it right off top on the intro. Then you want to give any flowers?
Doug Heffernan.
Yeah, he out there in these streets, boy. He out there delivering those packages. You know what I mean? So that's I've known Manny for like what 12, 13?
Give or take 12, 13 years when he was in middle school.
Mm-hmm. With that terrible haircut, you know what I mean? He's definitely grown up and doing his thing.
Bieber.
Man.
Got it. Yeah.
The Justin Bieber, yeah. So shout out to him, man. Want to make sure you give you the flowers right off top. Jonathan, you got anything before we hit this intro?
No, man. Let's hit it.
Let's do it. Yo, what are you doing right now?
The big V. Look, man.
All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit.
I made my wife wake up and drive me there anyway. As a major, the big V.
Right.
¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. I'm going full Mr. Rogers. You've tuned into the Man Chatter podcast. Yeah, man, we back at it. As you can tell, the background's a little different. I mean, I'm doing this podcast mobily. Shout out to a real internet. I wanna just say I really appreciate you, and I'm sorry I left you 4 years ago. I didn't know what I had with this legit ass internet. So yeah, man, how y'all been, bro? What's good?
John, I had another. I've been releasing and relieving stress. You know, I had a story time a few days ago. Yeah, and I had another incident on the road. I mean, it was in a parking lot.
Should I drop it?
Nah, it's not a story time. It was just it's gonna take maybe a minute or two. It's not gonna be a 15-minute segment. No, I was waiting. I was pulling into the parking lot to pick my son up today because he had voice lessons, and so I went to pick him up instead of him getting on the bus. And we had a ton of snow over here, and so
like 2 feet, right?
2 feet. So, but in the parking lots that get cleared, that snow gets piled up to be like 6 feet because you got to put the snow somewhere. And so as I'm turning to find a spot that's closer to the exit, so that way my son gets in and we just ride out, there's a huge pile of snow. Like there's only really a lane and a half. So I'm making a wide turn because I'm not plowing through the snow. And there's this individual in a early to mid 2000s blue Ford F-150. And they see that I'm making a wide turn. They honked the horn. They pulled what I would do. They honked and they held the horn for like 5 seconds. And so because they thought I was gonna hit them, right? Mm-hmm. Because I get it. Maybe they thought I was an idiot. They don't know me. We've never met. So I hit the brakes. I put it in reverse, and then I honked the horn right back and held it for a good 5 seconds. We were just making eye contact. It was a nice little, back and forth of honking. And then I reversed. Did you have a
script ready?
I did not have a script for that person.
How dare you in your credit?
You know what? It wasn't on the highway.
I want to hear the script, and then I want to guess what race they were.
I was thinking about that, and I was.
It was pretty specific.
It didn't hit me in the moment. Like I could have made one up between then and now, and it honestly, nothing came to mind. There was no anger there. It's not true. Is that what you're saying? No. So then I put it in reverse, backed up, then readjusted, and as I pulled forward, I gave him another, couple honks, little quick ones.
Do you think you didn't have anything ready because of your therapy from Sunday?
I think so. I think not only did I let it on the road, and then I told the story. I think I'm good. I've exercised the demons at least for the next week or so. I think
I got you.
If anyone bothers me, I think I'm gonna let it go. I think one more week passes though. If I go on another road trip, I don't know. With a smile. Someone's credit is going. Just drop me to 550.
Was Danny's advice? What is it?
Smile.
The smile.
I might get shot in the face, man. I think I'd rather just honk the horn back, and they appreciate that. I already told you, I was like, if someone smiles at me, I almost want to I almost want to like ram into their car, be like, wipe that damn smile off your face, and honking the horn isn't gonna do it.
Oh, that's too funny, bro. That's
See what
too
happens.
funny.
That's what happens when you live in Ohio. You are fighting through snow. We are here wearing scarves and jackets, and it's about 65 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 65.
Oh, up here was it got as low as like 32 to yesterday and today.
Nice.
So it's not too bad. It was like it's very surprising though. Like
At 6 in the morning.
Yeah, at 6, and then
Right.
and then like
At
at noon
it's like 80.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is fucking ridiculous. Because if you like, that's what's fucked up though. Like if you dressed in layers, like you gotta like either carry all that shit or stay in the layers. It's miserable because it's 80 to 85 by 1 o'clock and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I had a
strategically go out in just a t-shirt because of that.
Yeah, but it's not the same kind of cold, right? It's 60 down there is not the same as 60 up here. Like it just hits different.
I think it's different because we're so used to the warmth, I guess.
Maybe.
I think it's the humidity though. I was actually talking about that shit with my barber today. I think there's like a wet cold because he was in Tennessee when that bad storm came through, and people like all the flights were canceled and everything. He was like, it was cold, but it wasn't like I walked out today and it felt colder. Like and it was snowing. It was like snow on the ground and everything. It's just there's a different kind of cold to it, I guess. So I don't know.
Hey, so I got one more thing since you were asking me, what's going on.
Yeah,
and this is related to the ongoing pandemic, which may become an endemic here pretty soon because of Omicron, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking, what if Omicron had been Omarion? Like instead of like people getting sick, what if it would have sent people to the hospital, like crib walking like B2K?
Son, you saying they have
instead of Omicron, instead of the cough and 104 fever, they would have been crib walking their ass out to the clinic. Bump, bump, bump.
You saying they got
that ran through my head. That ran through my head earlier today. I was like, you know what? That would have been a better. I would have been okay with getting Omarion. Like, let me.
Don't say it like that, though. Right? Don't say it like that.
The Omarion variant. The Omarion variant. There you go.
You're saying it would have had an ice box where your heart used to be? Is that what you're saying, son?
What was the group that he was in? Was it B2K?
B2K.
Yeah. You know what's fucked up about that group? Like the manager used to rape those dudes.
Oh God.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. He used to straight up rape those dudes.
Yeah,
all those little kids.
Weird.
Jeez. Yeah. Okay, this just got dark.
I was trying to be funny with it, and you're over here talking about.
I'm saying like that's like when that happens, that's the first thing that pops up. Was like that dude used to like rape those children, like, and then like I don't even know if anything ever happened to him.
Were they children? I thought they were like in their early 20s.
No, they were like in their early teens. Like when they started,
really?
Like it wasn't like, I think 100%.
That's weird though, because maybe I'm wrong, but I think if I was 13, 14, I don't care how much money you offer me, I'm still not doing it.
I don't think it was like a pay for play type of situation though. I think he was just like maybe Bill Cosby in him. Maybe he was Bill Cosby in him. You know what I mean? Like drugging him, keeping him high. You know what I mean? Like and putting them in fucked up situations. The only thing I could think of. I think one of the guys like came out with the whole story, but this was like not years ago. So this is just like off me, off kind of like a memory of like, oh yeah, I remember the manager used to rape him, but I don't remember like the intricacies of the story. And like one guy came out and like that's why they all broke up, and then they got back together. It was just I was like, yeah, well, obviously you had to break up. Like, how is it? Like some people were like on his side type of situation. It was very much so like what happens with like the rapist that raped all those gymnasts.
Was anybody on that guy's side? Nobody was on that guy's side.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was on that dude's side.
USA Olympics was like U.S. Olympics was.
Wow, really?
Well, now that you bring up the weird stories, are you for or against listening to Michael Jackson? Because I still jam out to Michael Jackson, but some people are like,
R. Kelly. Like, look, that dude did, he did what he did. And by the way, I stopped following the trial, so I didn't even know what other crazy stuff came out.
Yep.
You can't change the fact that his music was incredible. He produced, he wrote for other artists.
I didn't know he was illiterate.
He was illiterate?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He couldn't write. He could barely read.
Oh, that makes sense.
He still made some banging songs.
Yes, and I believe I can. I guess that goes with the whole thing of like separating the art from the artist, right? Like if this person gave you that perspective, gave you this music, these classic, these bangers, like yeah, but I don't give a fuck about the person. Like I'm never gonna wear like an R. Kelly T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like that's never gonna be. Yeah, I'm never gonna be that. I'm never gonna be that person. No, absolutely not. But
yeah, but he still gets paid for each stream you play.
Yeah, but I can't remember the last time I listened to an R. Kelly stream.
Where is R. Kelly? Is he doing
prison.
time?
He's in prison. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he's
doing
not in prison right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Is he under house arrest or what?
I just got the confirmation from my wife that he is in jail right now.
Yeah, he's in prison. Yeah, he's 100% in jail. Like he got found guilty of whatever amount of charges. I remember watching that the documentary "Surviving R. Kelly."
I heard that.
Like, I watched that also.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Like that's some dark shit. Like that's okay.
Jesus, look, I pulled up the R. Kelly Wikipedia. Right, this is a hell of a byline to have. As Robert Sylvester Kelly, born January 8th, 1967, is an American singer, songwriter, 65. Record producer, and convicted sex offender. Like what? That's what you are. A singer, songwriter, producer, and convicted.
And you just can't skip over that.
What's that?
You just can't skip over it.
I know. I'm just saying that's like one of his like comma dot careers that he had. Jesus.
Wouldn't you want to like start with that? Like all those other like all the pros and all. This is his con because he's a con. Like what? Like why is it the last thing they mentioned was like yo sex offender should be like in bold capitalized letters, right? But
I still jam out to Michael Jackson, so
I can't. I mean, if Michael Jackson comes on, like I'm not gonna.
I introduced my kids to Michael Jackson music.
No, that's okay.
My kids listen to it. They know the deal behind Michael Jackson, but I mean the music is the music.
No, my kids don't know the deal behind Michael Jackson.
No, my son's 13. My son's 13. I explained it to him. Or your kids are a little young.
Yeah. You don't want to introduce them to that kind of shit. What's crazy? The reason why like this whole thing. Did you guys see Michigan? University of Michigan had to like settle a lawsuit for like $490 million, with like same kind of thing as Michigan State, which was the doctor for the U.S. gymnastics that like raped a bunch of like gymnasts and athletes at the school, like sexually assaulted them. They just settled today. Actually, the shit came through on my Google News. $490 million. So Michigan and Michigan
like that
State
happens all too often, all over the place, though.
Yeah, well, as crazy as like it's Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State, all Big Ten teams. I'm sure it happens but like just thinking about like all those places have had.
Or in other words, don't go to any state universities. Go to private universities.
Yeah, go to private university. That type of shit don't happen there. Like
they're better at hiding it. That money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, money, they're better at hiding it. Yeah. That shit was crazy. But yeah, have you seen that documentary on Netflix called Athlete A? It's all about that shit, about like US gymnastics and how what was that guy's name, bro? The doctor. I can't think of his name, but like how he did it, like he would do like a pelvic floor exam, like while the parents were in the room. Like he would put his hands without a glove, right? Because he's like, oh, this is something to make you a better athlete type of shit. He would put his hands inside the women while the parents were in the room, because everybody thought that was like a legitimate treatment for lower back pain or whatever bullshit he sold them. So he did that to tens of thousands of girls.
Larry Nassar.
Larry Nassar. So and he did that with like a pedophile. Like that guy.
Isn't that like that's like a common thing though, right? Like you go to a doctor's office and the doctor tells you just about anything. You're like, well, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's
like, too much faith in these doctors nowadays.
I think the question should have been immediately asked, like, no doctor should ever put their hands on you like that, like without gloves on. You know what I mean? Especially like putting their hands inside your daughter's. You know what I mean? Like, and you're in like that's just wild. Yeah, that's just wild.
We had a pediatrician when Olivia was first born, and her first appointment, we took her. She was a couple weeks old, and he had it was a very invasive exam. We thought it was kind of weird, and so then we started asking like other friends that had newborns. They're like, my pediatrician never did anything like that. We never went back. We're like, Yeah, because it felt weird, but at the same, like he wasn't doing anything crazy, but at the same time, I was like, this seems unnecessary.
Yep.
So we asked around, and we're not going back there. But because there's a medical professionals, you doubt yourself. You doubt like intervening, being like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, they're gonna be like, "What do you mean? What I'm doing? I'm examining your child."
Yeah.
So,
there's questions there. Like I don't think it's ever wrong to question a medical professional, not just because like of your own not knowing. It was like if you feel something's wrong, you have the right to say it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you should be all right with saying it's just. I think what happened and what happened a lot of times with that U.S. gymnastics shit, and they covered in the documentary, is like people complained, like tons of parents, but they just hid it away, and like almost like the Catholic Church, like they just moved them. You know what I mean? Or like they paid for their silence or that kind of shit. So it was like that's what I was saying. Like the U.S. gymnastics, like they kind of like okayed it. You know what I mean? Like they just turned the blind eye to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was it. And the same thing happened at Michigan State because he was the doctor there at Michigan. When Michigan, the university, which is fucked up though, because if it's a public university, right, which I think Michigan is, they have like the $490 million. Is that going to come from the taxpayers? Because the taxpayers cover the university, right? Or is that going to come from their fucking their endowment? Like
it's coming from their endowment, which is what's Michigan State's endowment? Pretty easy to find out right now.
Michigan.
It's Michigan, right? Who's getting
Michigan?
Yeah.
Michigan settled the $490 million.
I mean, it's pretty simple. If you generate money for a university or any type of company, they're gonna cover it up for you. Look at Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. What back to back off seasons, sexual assault in the bathroom, and people don't even. People were just like, "Oh yeah, that's the thing that happened, bro." Like, how is that just a thing that happened?
Hey, like I told you,
stringer, I bet you he gets convicted.
Oh yeah, he gets convicted. He gets cut. Hey, like I told you though, now that they, that they're not in the playoffs, he's gonna have more time to hit up those bars.
And he's gonna catch another charge. Like he's
what
is it, all that free time?
Look, I never really read into the charges, so I mean I can't speak on anything. I know the overall like
there were allegations. Charges. I don't know if there was ever any.
Nowadays, I remember when the Me Too movement was going on. Olivia Nunn, was it the Aaron Rodgers' ex-girlfriend?
Yeah,
she came out and she said that anybody that was accused should immediately be fired from their job. I was like,
that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Just because you're accused, there are people that lie about this shit.
Yeah.
So sometimes I take it with a grain of salt. Like you just never know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's you have to wait. I think that whole Ben Roethlisberger shit was wild though. Like that was like before ESPN and all this shit was like what it is now, with like constant talk. It was just like you just got sports centers. You know what I mean? You don't have like the talking head show, so like they would have never.
Yeah, that was like because all the First Take and all that other stuff started about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah,
and that happened right around that time.
Yeah, and it started with shout outs to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless started it. Yeah. Cold Pizza. It all that started. Then it was First and 10, and then it became First Take. So Skip had the vision for all that shit, and now every show.
Go ahead. Just be really crazy with your takes, and people will be drawn to you. Just say some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
that's why I was waiting for you when you're like, oh, I can't comment on that because I didn't look into the charges. I'm like, yeah, you can comment. You can say whatever the hell you want. Doesn't have to be informed. You just gotta
say it. I would never attack somebody's personal character.
No, and again, all I said was he's gonna have plenty of time to go back to those bars and do whatever it is he does. Hey, Ben, you asked us a question before the podcast started earlier today, and you may have forgotten about it. I haven't, but we had a little back and forth.
Ask a lot of
questions.
What was it?
Restart your life at 6 years of age with all the knowledge you have now, or take the blue pill, take $10 million cash right now.
Yeah, well, for starters, I sent that question.
Yeah, Danny sent that one.
Was it Danny?
Yeah,
it is. Danny. Look, it is. Yeah. It is Mr. I'm not gonna say his last name. There he is. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's first names only here.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the question was, what was it $10 million right now, or restart your life at 6 years old with the knowledge you have now?
Depends what your goal is, right? I said earlier, yeah, if knowing what I know is going to happen, I'll restart at 6, and I'll put all my money into the companies that we know, it blew up,
Mhm.
and I'd surpass 10 million in a couple months. But I mean, who would in reality, like $10 million, like what more do you need? You have knowledge of at least I've learned over the years of, I
Finances.
invest in things,
Hmm.
whether it's in stocks or things that come up that are pretty new, like cryptocurrency or real estate.
Hmm.
Like, what more do you need? Like, you buy yourself some peace of mind, buy yourself a house like I'm looking to in Spain or in Colombia. You don't have to spend a fortune, and you can put the
You
rest
make
in,
that
in
money.
conservative investments, because you don't need to be crazy. You got $10 million. Put the rest in conservative
So you
investments.
would go with the 10 million?
I'm saying I see that option, but it depends what your goals are. If your goals are like piece up, like I can take the 10 million and not blow it, and I can make that 10 million grow. And by the time I'm 60, I'll have more money than the 10 million. But if your
Right.
aim is to just, make insane amounts of money, then you put all your money into Amazon or into Bitcoin when it launches, and you'll be a trillionaire. But
What's
Yeah.
your goal?
my goal is, I initially in the chat, I know I said I restart at 6 years old. If the goal is to make the most money, I don't know. I would take the 10 million now, because I don't know what do I need with $800 billion
Yeah.
as just someone that invests money. I don't need to be like Chamath, who's
Give it
like
back.
give it back. I
Mhm.
Sure. I mean, I could give it back, but $10 million, I can not I couldn't give it back now, but I could definitely not only invest, not only have peace of mind and not have to worry about my future finances or having a roof over my head,
Or your
but my
kids, right?
family, my
10 million.
generations
Yeah.
after that.
Mhm.
And it would allow us to live. I guess it would allow us to live now like the people, and maybe not like the elites, but just not having to worry about finances changes your perspective, and changes how you live life.
Mhm.
Uh
100%.
Completely. It's a 180%, like 180-degree just turn of how you live your life. So
Yeah,
yeah,
think
I mean,
about it, man. Like you wouldn't have to worry about punching in anywhere, because like there's $10 million you could legitimately you invest it, you put some money, you put that, let's say you put $1 million in your bank account, you're not gonna blow through that, and you put the rest of it. I mean,
you
let it
can.
collect. Yeah, but if you go irresponsible and crazy, you can. But you invest it right, and then you have a great life the rest of your life. Like to go back at 6, I guess like the question for me that I have in this is like I go back at 6 in like 2022 and I start all the way over, like, or am I going back to like
Back in
1990?
time.
Yeah, I'm going back in
No,
time
you
and
go
being
back
6.
to
1990?
1989 or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
1990.
Yeah, no, I don't like. I'm good, man. Like I thought about like, yeah, like you could do all those investments, do like the movie Blast from the Past, like with Brendan Fraser. You go back in time and have like Colgate and all these different things, and you're like, you got hundreds of billions of dollars. But like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'll take the 10 million right now. Make smart investments. I'd be out of here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't work. I'd move to Panama, buy a house. You know what I mean? Get a house built and be all set, man. Like there's no, you know what I mean? Like that 10 million, have put it in investments and let it accrue that way and have life changing generational wealth, be able to help people out. It'd be, yeah, I take the 10 million right now. Daniel, now are you gonna go the opposite just because that's kind of,
For
Well,
sure. That's
I
what he's
thought
doing.
that you guys were gonna go with the other choice, because I originally was gonna go that route. And then I spoke to my wife, and she told me that she's taking 10 million, and I really wasn't sure why, because I feel like when you start at 6, I mean, the world is your oyster. Like,
yeah,
Right.
where do I want to go to make this money?
gambling.
But then she's like,
You
yeah,
could gamble.
but if you do that, there's a chance that you don't meet your wife,
Yep.
you don't have
Right.
the kids you have.
You don't
She
have the
started
friends
thinking
you
all
have.
deep, and she kind of like ruined the
Yeah,
fun of
I know. Of a
the
being.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
a party pooper. But once she put it that way, I was like, you know what? I'll take the 10 million. I'll take the, because I mean it's true. If I can't guarantee that I'm gonna have the same kids or the same family, then what's the point of the money?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Um, So
yeah, I'm with you.
Just based off of that, I would love to be filthy rich.
Yeah, if nothing changed, if your wife and kids was the same.
Yeah. My family's the same. I'd be filthy rich. I think I would be an amazing rich person. Okay, and maybe somebody rich would see this and they think I'm ignorant, but I think I would be an amazing rich person because I would, and I think about this all the time. It's like these people that are literally worth $1 billion, like Kanye West and all these other people. I'm like, but like, why are you spending money on like Louis Vuitton slippers? Like, dude, you have so much money, you can help so many people out. Go help somebody.
Yeah.
Please do something positive with that money. But you know, maybe if I became that filthy rich, I'd become an asshole and I wouldn't think about anybody else. I'm thinking the other way just because I'm poor. I don't know, but you know.
Yeah, and then you'll be buying. Then you'll be buying $6,000 Louis Vuitton slippers that would be comparable to buying like $1 sandals at the dollar store. Because you're like, what is this? What are these $6,000 slippers when I have billions and billions of dollars?
It wouldn't make any sense. And
I think I would be an awesome rich person.
I think
it's what every rich person said before they became rich.
Yeah,
100%. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe people, maybe they'll be like, you're ignorant. Once you become rich, you don't care about anybody else but yourself. Maybe.
Yeah, you try to make. I think when you become rich, you just try to make as much money as possible every single time you do anything. I think you're like. I think you just kind of. Yeah, I think you just kind of because think about. I think you end up doing shit like having spaceships that look like dicks going into space, while all your fucking workers are in terrible situations.
Like people that are rich do stupid shit. They like buy giraffes. Like,
first of all, you want to take a pet giraffe? For? Son, let's keep it 100.
I'd walk my giraffe all over.
Son, I'd take a pet giraffe right now, bro. Like,
and teach us to headbutt the neighbors.
Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Yeah, no, but like you said, there's only so much money you actually need. At some point, once you pass a certain threshold, it's like that money is excess. Just figure out a way to give it back.
And you can't take any of that money.
My poor ignorance. I don't know.
And you can't take any of that money with you. So who the fuck? Like 10 million is. I'm all set with 10 million. Yeah, I think maybe it is like because we come from like poor childhoods, right?
Humble
like,
beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
It's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, just poor is also the real way to say it. You know what I mean? Like let's keep it a buck.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's because we have that kind of mentality, that immigrant mentality. We're like, no, I'm good. I'm set here. Like we don't need anything else. Like I mean, like a roof over your head, providing for your family. 10 million to just be like, oh, I don't have to worry about, you know what I mean? Like starting this other business or doing this other shit to try to support what I want to do in the future. You just got that 10 million in the bank. That's such a stress relief to like not be to not be check to check. Like just not be like, how the fuck am I gonna make this last to the 15th? And you got that 10 mil chilling. I was like, oh my God. And you could buy a little bit of like the things you like wanted to do but couldn't, and then just like let it sit. Oh, that's such a relief. 100%.
All right, so what are you gonna do with it? What's the very first thing you do with those 10 million?
Buy land in Panama and build a house. Legitimately, the first thing I'm gonna do. I talked to my cousin. Like I already planned it out too because it was like yesterday. So I just been thinking about the shit. I told my cousin that's an architect and knows a bunch of engineers to like fucking draw up the plans for my house, build this beautiful shit in this small town called Boquete in Panama in the mountains. That's like 72 and sunny year round. Like it doesn't really rain, but it's up in the mountains, and just build it into like a mountainside, and I'll probably spend like $1 million, like buy, and then that's it, and just go there and chill, and kick back, bro. Like I feel like I've done enough. I'll put like my mom somewhere in Panama, because all my family's there in Panama. Like move her out there too. Like I'm out, bro. Like I'm all set here, man. Like
that sounds incredibly boring. All right, what about you, John?
It might be even more boring. I would take.
I don't know how you guys want to live like that, dude. That's just crazy to me.
I would take 6 million and I would put it into a couple of funds that I invest in, STI and VXUS. They track the S&P 500 and international stocks. And then the other 4 million, I'd buy a couple places.
What's the very first purchase? The very first purchase.
Well, the very first. Okay, fine. The very first thing I would do, well, before I purchase anything, is I would put the money in investments. That I would set money aside in investments before I purchase anything.
Yep.
My first purchase would be It would be for my mom to make to whatever she's got that needs to be taken care of. I take care of her. She's thinking of buying a house in Colombia. Actually, I'd buy the house for her.
Or in Pereira?
Not in Pereira. Now I gotta think where she's going. It's somewhere else.
Armenia?
No, it's Armenia is like right there. No, it's off.
Yeah.
It's a place close to.
These are all towns. If you're
like,
listening to this,
it's
if
like
you're listening to this, these are all towns in Colombia.
They are.
Sorry, we're three Latinos on here, so this is what we do.
They are.
All right, keep on with Encanto talk. Go ahead.
Man, now I can't even remember what it starts with an M, and it's like a really big tourist place.
Well, it's not Medellin.
It's not Medellin, but it's off like it's southwest of Bogota, and they have a lot of like
Southwest.
That's where like people from like where people from Bogota
Southwest
go
Bogota
to.
is Cali.
And it's probably not one of the big ones.
I don't know.
It's in.
What
it's
about
in,
you,
All right,
Danny?
but that's
It's in
pretty cool.
Tolima.
So that'll be my first purchase.
You buying a
My
giraffe?
first purchase. No, I'm not buying a giraffe. I'm buying a penthouse in Manhattan, in the city.
I don't
Like
think you get a penthouse in Manhattan. How much is a penthouse in Manhattan?
Oh, so anyway, forget Danny. I'm not done with my forget Manhattan. Look, I'll come up with the name later. Look, I'm buying a place in Colombia. I'm buying a place in Madrid. I'm buying a place.
Gang.
I
get season tickets to Madrid.
Yeah,
That'd be like the one wild purchase I do.
I'm buying a place in Lisbon. Probably a place in Buenos Aires, just because
you're racist. Because you're not.
Did we say we're billionaires or with 10 million?
Homes are pretty affordable. Have you? I've been doing my research. Really affordable. With $1 million, I could have a house in like 7 of these different places.
Yeah,
for sure, easy. A nice apartment or a house. Go look at Pereira. Look at like these Casa de Campo.
In Colombia for sure.
They're like 250, 300,000, and you have like a 6-bedroom, 7-bathroom, 4,000-5,000 square foot house with
chalet.
Like, bro, yeah, exactly. Un chalet, or una casa de campo, una quinta. Nothing.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question? Like, in this scenario, right? Like we have like a second home, which is some outlandish shit to even think about, right? Like, are you gonna have like maids and employees? Because especially if like.
No.
You're not gonna have anybody cleaning or
when I go to Colombia, I go to some
landscaping.
my aunts and uncles' houses, and they have maids, and I feel so uncomfortable. Like when
somebody cleaning after you.
Yeah, like it's so weird. Like I really don't like it. Like I know that they get paid for it, and yeah, I guess. And like my aunt's like, yeah, go bring me this. I'm like, go do that shit yourself. Like it's right there.
Yeah.
I personally do not like that. I get it. I'm not knocking it, but I'm not with it. No.
I think it would be.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up with it. Like I lived with like my cousin, and that's not out of the question in Colombia and Venezuela. Like they had a live-in maid.
Oh yeah, I know. There's a lot of help over there. Mm-hmm.
And they didn't treat her like garbage. Sometimes they would be like you said, like, oh, go get me something, and you feel that feels awkward. You're like, hey, go get this for me. When you're like, I can get my ass up and go get a glass of water.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like someone to like, I wouldn't have a maid. I would have just like, I think like people now, but to take care of the premises. Like now I do it because I don't feel like paying anyone. But yeah, to take care of the garden and the lawn and upkeep the premises.
But that's different. But you somebody to do your landscape, that's different. But somebody to go and get you a cup of water, or go make your bed. It's like, come on, do it yourself.
No, but I would have someone to like come and like cook the meals
and
like
clean the house.
Yeah, like they wouldn't have to stay there or do anything else, but like cook the meal and then clean the house and take off.
You know what? You gotta remember. Yeah. See, but then you gotta think about it like this, right? Like how you said you could help so many people. Like you could change somebody's life by hiring the right person.
Hire them and
pay them. Yeah, and pay them more than other people. Then you get, you're supplying
That's
somebody
fine, but like
and treat them with dignity and respect.
Yeah.
Don't have them do simple tasks that you can do yourself.
Yeah, but we're not saying simple tasks. Like I don't want a servant. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't want somebody to like.
Basically, what it ends up being a live-in servant. Is what it ends up being.
I've never like, because my family has maids in Panama, right? Because that's like the culture is like a thing that happens there, right? Like I've never made it like nobody in my family has ever treated any any empleado like that ever. Like not my grandma. Like so I've never seen that. Yes, it is uncomfortable because we don't come from that, but I've never like have the expectation like this person has to make my bed for me, or you know what I mean, like make sure my coffee's the right temperature or any of that shit. Like that shit's wild.
And you know,
but it's just like
and you know what bothers
somebody
me?
to like help you to keep up with the house. It's just help. That's how I would look at it.
Something that bothers me. One of my aunts that has
what?
maid, right? My father's sister. So
okay,
she comes over to visit sometimes, and she's very bossy. And I think it's because she's accustomed to having a maid.
Yeah.
So like she'll be at the house and she'll be like, "Hey, give me a glass of water," and I do it. But in my mind, I'm like, the kitchen's like 3 steps away. Like you could have done this shit yourself.
Yeah.
But like she's become accustomed to just making people like do shit for her. It's very obnoxious.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll tell you, like I have a cousin who's very well off, right? And he doesn't like he has like all the capabilities of being that type of person because you know what I mean. He's like you think of somebody so wealthy, they're gonna treat people like that. Not at all. Like if he was like that and I saw that, it would automatically make me think like, no, I would never want to have a maid or somebody to clean my house like that because like that's how I would view that. Like I would never want to treat somebody like that. But because that hasn't been my experience, I don't view it that way. Now, would it still make me uncomfortable? Yes. Like would I have? Because I don't like strange people in my house. So
my aunt isn't disrespectful or anything, but still, like I don't know. I think it's too bossy the way you have to ask people to do shit for you. I'm like, come on.
Well, the way she said it, you're like, give me a glass of water instead of like, hey, can you get me like? She's telling you instead of like asking you to do it, and that makes all the difference. I think the way that someone says.
No. She tells. She's like, hey, tráigame una vaso de agua. Okay, sure.
Yeah, goddamn, that's rude. I think we've covered all Spanish culture, and let's cover one more thing before we get into this playoff talk. I brought up a question to you guys, a very important question. Being grown men who still watch cartoons. Right? That's what we do.
I have a reason, by the way. I'm not sure what your reason is, but
I like cartoons. I don't give a fuck. I'm a Toys R Us kid, son. Fuck you. All right? Don't judge me.
I missed that store.
I do too.
I think my kids missed out big time because they never got to see it.
I know.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. All right, so Encanto versus Coco. Now, Jonathan I'm gonna be the judge. Gonna be very hard not to be biased. I'm gonna be the judge for this. Jonathan's gonna plead the case for the pros of Encanto, and then he's gonna do this for Coco. This is the kind of conversations you have on this pod. Hard-hitting, fucking politically charged rants about 2 fucking Disney movies for grown men that are talking about it. All right, who wants to go first?
Well, I can tell you why Encanto isn't as good as Coco.
All right, I'm ready.
It's not true to the culture. It didn't represent Colombia at all.
What is that?
Well, from the lack of accents to the lack of scenery, it was literally all in that one house.
It's in the mountains. We're going to Pereira. There's plenty of mountains out there.
Ben literally said, "I'm gonna build a house in Panama that has mountains." That could have been anywhere.
Talking about arepas.
The thing about that movie was that they kept bringing up arepas. That's it.
Arepas, and you know what? Arepas are more a Venezuelan thing than Colombian. Colombian arepas are
no.
Listen to me. They're 2 different beasts. No. We're talking about Encanto and Coco, but Venezuelan arepas are different. They're thicker. You cut them and then you stuff them with cheese or whatever.
They're not as good,
right? Colombian arepas are great, but they're like like ceramic plates, right? Like you'll break a tooth. They're crunchier, and you put the meat on top of them. You don't stuff anything in them. You put stuff on top of them.
Oh, this just got personal.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
No, arepas are arepa. Look, ask anyone what an arepa is. You cut it and you put stuff in there. That's how it's supposed to be. That's a Venezuelan arepa. That's what everyone knows. That's what everyone knows about an arepa. Look, it's all right.
Who is everyone? Who have you talked to about this?
Everyone that knows what an arepa is that's
you
not. You
have not surveyed anybody that matters.
That's not only Colombia biased as yourself, and I am part Colombian. All right, understands that when someone says arepa in any part of the world, if they know what an arepa is, it's that dough that you cut. It's Venezuelan, and you cut it. If they call it a Colombian arepa, but they might. You're right. They might call it a Colombian arepa. They might call it a Colombian arepa. You're right. But then they'll describe what you do. I what?
You like deep dish pizza?
Well, you're a New
You
Yorker, so
do.
you're gonna go with the New York style,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I prefer New
You
York
do.
style.
You
I've
like that
had deep dish.
lasagna, don't you?
No, I've had deep dish in Chicago in like 3 different places. The place you're supposed to go to, and it's good, but it's not pizza. It's lasagna. You're right.
Correct.
Yes,
I agree with you.
Lasagna. Yes.
But
And then what you eat in
look,
Venezuela is a burrito. It's basically a burrito.
no, we talked about Mexican food. Let's not do that. We know what a burrito is.
It's
All right?
basically a burrito.
Benjamin's
If anything-
laughing over here, but he knows better.
If anything, it would be a taco. But yo, look, this is
Look. If anyone if you ask anyone in the world what an arepa is, they might mistakenly say it's Colombian, but the minute they start describing what it is, they're describing a Venezuelan arepa, which is that
I don't
dough
know.
that you
You've
cut
lived in
open and
Hawaii
you
too long.
stuff.
You
stuff
no,
eggs, you stuff cheese,
you have no
stuff meat,
validity in
you
this
stuff
conversation.
whatever it is.
sorry. Yeah, I got I like the rule on this. Sorry, Danny, bro, but he's right, man. The way
No,
I've
he's
always
not.
had arepas, yes, the way I've always had arepas has always been meat on the inside, not whatever the fuck
Or
that-
eggs or cheese or whatever.
anything. That's
no,
the only.
And
Just
look,
letting you know, that's in Panama. Like we like that's the version I've always had. Also, because my cousin's maid is Venezuelan, so that's the way she makes it. What do we do?
Well, I mean that makes sense.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Bring it full circle.
You could have
all
left
I
that part out though, because then it gives it less credibility.
But it's how I've had it. It's always been good.
But I know that the Colombian arepa is how you describe it. But the arepa that you ask people around the world how they eat an arepa. Most people that are not just Colombian, like I like my Colombian arepa, they'll say more often than not, it'll be the one that you like cut open and you put whatever it is, your breakfast arepa, cheese, eggs, meat, or whatever. Nothing wrong with the Colombian arepa, but it's just like empanadas, right? A Colombian empanada is I can't even, I don't have the words to describe it. That's how good it is. And it's okay. You can take the loss. Venezuela takes the arepa because that's what it is. And Colombian empanadas are at the top of the heap. And it's all right.
How the fuck? Yo, real quick, we're talking about Encanto and Coco. We went off on a 7-minute tangent about arepa.
So to come back,
to
come back, that's how little is representative of Colombia in that movie. That apparently, from what Jonathan is saying, not even the food was Colombian; it was Venezuelan.
Yeah.
So I rest my case.
No. I said it was an arepa, but unfortunately,
it was a Venezuelan arepa then.
I think it was a Venezuelan one, right?
Yeah, 100%. They put meat in the middle of it. It wasn't.
They had Colombian actors. They had Colombian musicians in the background.
Who were the Colombian actors?
Didn't they?
John Leguizamo. No. That's it.
He was not the only one. There's no way.
Puerto Rican.
No, he's Colombian.
Leguizamo was.
He's Colombian.
He's Colombian.
Colombian, dude.
Word?
I thought he was Puerto Rican for the longest time. For like years.
I swear to God, I've always thought he was Puerto Rican.
I did too for a long time.
What's Stephanie Beatrice then? The main actress. The one
Dominican.
She's not Colombian.
She's not Colombian.
They have this Dolores Madrigal. I know she's Colombian. Adasa. I met her in Korea before she did anything when she was just coming up 15 years ago.
I think Isabella is Colombian, and that's the chick from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, Diane Guerrero. She's
Yeah.
also in some DC show on HBO Max that I can't think of at this moment. Yeah, but I think she might be Colombian.
That's it. That's the extent. And then the Carlos Vives song.
Carlos Vives, and then the other one
nice
with
guy, by the way.
Oruguitas. That's Sebastián Yatra, who's Colombian, born in Miami but Colombian.
Yeah.
So all right, so Danny pleaded his case.
Coco had better music.
No, but
storyline had a villain, had a climax. It was just better overall.
Is that what we're talking about? We just talked about, we got off on a tangent about arepas and we didn't even get to talk about the actual story, which was.
No, Danny summed it up.
A great story. Danny summed it up. All right.
If you really think about
it. Look, I was hyped for a year. I haven't been hyped to watch a movie for a year. I can't remember ever being hyped for that long. But when I saw, when I saw the trailer a year ago, and I saw it was going to be a Colombian Disney movie, I was hyped. And I was incredibly disappointed when I finally saw it. So I really thought it was going to be like Coco level, and it just didn't live up to Coco.
Both movies, though, to interject real quick, both movies have a very similar story. If you think about it, both of it is like family trauma. right? Like it's
but Coco had a twist at the end and everything.
Yeah. There was no twist that
you know
Coco
the thing though with Coco,
movie.
you know the thing with Coco is that the grandma, the
It was
abuela
sad,
in
you
Coco,
cried.
the abuela in Coco, she never apologized, man. And you know,
Apologize for what?
to being
she didn't apologize for being an asshole.
to the kid,
Why was she an
Not letting
asshole?
him chase the dream.
not letting the kid sing.
The abuela though, the abuela
You talking about Coco or
Encanto.
Coco's daughter?
No,
Coco's
not
daughter.
Coco. Coco's daughter, which is the grandma, which is
Oh,
The
because
grandma.
Coco's daughter. Coco's the great
No.
grandma.
Yeah,
Coco-
bisabuela.
You don't know that she didn't apologize. He was
Not on
playing
screen,
music
she
the next
didn't.
year. So
No, son, you can't come out here and go off-screen apology on a movie.
No.
No.
On screen, abuela not only apologized, she had a whole song apologizing.
Abuela
She admitted her
in Coco
wrongs.
apologized with her tears.
Oh, so it's an insinuated apology.
Is that what we're going with?
That's it.
Listen, both movies were similar.
No.
I mean about similar in the sense of the family trauma aspect, because it was the same thing. It was like the reason.
You don't need a villain though. What villain? The villain is that it's a family.
You need a villain in a movie.
It's a family falling apart and them forgetting their roots and where they came from, and the fact that the abuela was what parents do a lot of times, that they hold on to their kids and they don't let them. What is it? What's that movie? Let me spread my wings and fly. They hold on to their kids too tight.
It was more social commentary though, right? Like it wasn't so much.
Let me be a peacock.
Let me be a peacock. That's son of stupid son of a. But yeah, like look, for me it was Coco. Like it's not like it wanted, like Encanto wanted to be like, and I've been listening to the soundtrack because I remember Danny telling me that he listens to the Encanto soundtrack a lot because it was kids. I think
nonstop for over a month.
Yeah, you got to be exhausted by it. I think Encanto has, I mean, because Lin-Manuel Miranda, you know what I mean? That's what he does. Like, I think it has.
I'm kind of tired of that guy.
he's doing
Some of his songs.
He's the pitbull of musicals.
I listen to his music, and like, if you close your eyes, I picture Hamilton. Like some of the songs, when they start rapping, I'm like, it sounds exactly like Hamilton.
The cadence of the rapping sometimes.
Yes, the cadence. Yes. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
The Luisa song, when she started, I was like, whoa, this sounds like just like Hamilton.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
No, but the Family Madrigal too. Like when she's rapping about her family because she's trying not to avoid the answering. Well, what about you? So yeah, it's no, yeah, you could definitely hear it. Yeah, exactly. What about me? He's my cousin.
Let me tell you something. I could probably sing the album just about perfectly from beginning to end.
You know what
I'm
song,
not exaggerating.
You know what song's growing on me a lot from that album? Dos Oruguitas.
It's a good song.
Oh yeah, we like that song from the start. It was a nice song.
It's a heartwarming song. It's touching.
Yeah, it's a good song.
I didn't know that Oruguita was a caterpillar though.
I had to look it up. That wasn't a word from Spain, son.
Lifetime learner, bitch.
You had to look it up.
Lifetime learner.
You knew an Oruguita was a caterpillar?
Oruguita? No, I had to definitely Google it.
I had to Google that 100%.
But it wasn't. It was a Colombian movie, and I still had to look it up.
Together, and they were wrinkled. That's what I thought.
Arruga. This guy.
That's a good.
That's what I thought. I thought it was just old.
Two wrinkles.
Lifetime story.
Two wrinkles.
Like, those are Oruguitas because they're just getting old. So there's only 2 wrinkles on their face right now. Damn, I didn't get to grow more wrinkles with you. Like, that's what I thought it was. When I was watching the movie with subtitles in English, and it said caterpillars. I'm like, oh shit.
You know what? That's not a bad interpretation of it. If you heard that, and that's what you think, that's not a bad interpretation of like getting somebody getting old, because she's getting older, she's holding onto the family so tight. But look,
the other interpretation is that it's not the radio, it's a movie, and so there are caterpillars there, and then he changes the word to the equivalent of butterfly, which is mariposa, and then you see the butterflies take off. That's the other interpretation. In case you were not watching the movie.
Well, my understanding that there's a lot of butterflies in the movie, and it's an ode to 100 Years of Solitude, the book.
Really?
I didn't know that.
And that's why they added so many butterflies in this movie. So
what's that book about?
To
obviously 100, but
a family. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's what the underlying theme of. Yeah.
That's dope. I like that.
I never read it. I know Jenny read it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna listen to it. I ain't gonna read it. You know what I mean, I guess
At the same experience, man.
Well, a lot of people say you should read it in Spanish though because it loses a lot. So what's the translation to English?
I gotta read it. It's by. I just saw the author.
Who is it? Who's the author, motherfucker? Why would you hold on to it like
it's a well-known Colombian author?
Oh, you're just gonna fucking. Oh, okay.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I didn't know it was him. I didn't know it was him until like.
That's his most famous book.
Then I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, the name.
100 años de soledad.
I have to check that out. I have to check that out for sure. All right, so the ruling is, I think we're all convinced it's Coco, right? Like it's not even a question.
Absolutely, it's Encanto. I agree.
Nah, definitely
not. Encanto de Colombian Arepas, bro. Put some. The
Venezuelan Arepas.
Put some. What do you put on top of the arepa then on the Colombian arepa? Since Venezuela, you put
cheese?
Stuff in it. What do you put? What do you put on top of Colombian arepa?
Mantequilla,
butter and cheese.
Yeah, butter and cheese. Yeah, that's never.
That's
on top.
And then you could put other stuff on it, but that's what an arepa is. It's an arepa.
You don't put like chicharrón and other stuff on top of it?
No, kind of. Fuck you and your deep dish pizza, man.
Huh?
Take that shit in Chicago.
Hey,
you take from
the Midwest.
You take from the bandeja paisa and you put some chicharrón on top of it. Put some other stuff on top of it.
They have the small arepas that come with the bandeja paisa that you eat on its own.
Yeah.
You're going too deep now. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Bandeja paisa. What the fuck is that? You
shut your dirty mouth. You might as well. Let's just move on.
All right. Hey, all right, man. Let's wrap this up with these playoffs. We got playoffs again. Was it divisional round? Divisional round now kicking off after the wild card weekend. We already shitted on the Cowboys previous episode. Please check us out for that one.
They shitted on themselves.
They did shit on themselves. Fucking Mike McCarthy. But yeah, man. Let's break down this money line, this gambling shit for this weekend.
Are you actually gonna gamble? Is gambling legal in Ohio?
I've never looked into it. No, I'm not gonna gamble.
Why not?
Because he invests his money. He's not a day trader.
There you go. Wow, look at this guy. He had it ready.
Yeah, exactly. I pay attention.
95% of day traders end up broke.
Yeah, I've made the mistake too many times of not listening to you when you were right. So I want to make sure I pay attention better. And
when does that start, John? Because you haven't been right since I've been on here.
Hey, I was wrong about the two picks that I made that I was going against the grain. I was wrong on the Raiders and wrong on the Cowboys. And I thought the Cowboys are not going to pull a Cowboys, and they did. And then I thought the Bengals are going to pull a Bengals, and they didn't. They're the new Bengals. So good for them.
Man, if they – all right, so what we got?
Speaking of Bengals. Right.
Cincinnati, Tennessee. Ooh, that's –
Well, Derrick Henry's back.
Is Derrick Henry playing?
Yeah, full contact.
Yeah. That bye week couldn't have come for a better team. They benefited by far the most by having a bye week, having a healthy Derrick Henry.
And an extra week though, too, right? Because if it was 16 weeks,
right,
that bye week doesn't come, and he's still out this week. So that 17th game benefited Tennessee more than anybody.
Well, he put him in there, not at 100%. But my understanding is that he looks pretty good right now in practice, and he's going to tear some heads. I don't know how good Tennessee's secondary is to keep up with Joe Burrow, though. I think I'd ride with Derrick Henry. I can't bet against that guy. That guy's a monster.
No, can't ever bet against the King Henry. What is that? Minus 105 plus
minus 185 plus 155.
God damn.
So if you bet 185 on Tennessee, you make $100. If you bet $100 on the Bengals, you make 155.
155. Yeah, that's great. Wow. What's the over under 47?
47.
I would take the old. I'd say it's 27. I'd take the under 27-17 is what I'm thinking. Derrick Henry just it's going to be that Tennessee.
You taking Tennessee? What about you, John?
Tennessee.
I'm gonna ride with Cincinnati.
Ooh, you going Burrow for president?
I'm going Burrow for president. That's right.
Ooh, boy. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, he. I mean, I already told you. I'm not gonna say he surprised me. Like he is who I said he was. I just didn't think that the Bengals as a whole were gonna pull it off last week. But yeah, I'm taking the Bengals.
Right. Next game.
Who you got? Who you got, Danny? You didn't pick anything.
Oh, I got Tennessee. I'm not betting against Derrick Henry.
Ken Henry. That's why he's not betting.
Right,
He's not betting against Saban. All right. Niners and Green
this
Bay.
One, in my opinion, this is an easy pick. I think the Niners overachieved by making it to the second round. They got lucky that they played against the Cowboys, who were going to cowboy, and I think the Packers are going to destroy them.
Yep.
I'm taking the Packers, and I take the Cowboys also. They'll win by more than 6.
I agree. Yeah, I think they'll win by 13.
Yeah. Like a third. Like, I think they win. Yeah, 13-14, 31-17. It feels like that kind of game. Maybe worse. Maybe 31-10 because I don't think San Francisco's that good.
And I don't believe in Jimmy G.
Never have. I don't believe anybody.
His winning percentage though. His winning percentage is ridiculous. I saw it the other day.
I thought he was going to fold. I thought he was going to fold against the Cowboys. He looked like he was starting to kind of fold the Cowboys. I mean, I thought Jimmy G was going to be Jimmy G when it comes under pressure. I was just thinking of him against Kansas City in the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Which I also predicted. I also predicted what would happen in that one. Yeah. I was like, San Francisco's going to do great defense for 3 quarters, and then Kansas City going to go Kansas City. And that fourth was all Pat Mahomes.
But yeah, you summed this one up pretty well. I think Green Bay, and it's not even close.
It's not even close.
Oof, this is the game right here. If I had this extra money laying around, I would drive to Tampa to watch this game.
This is Rams and Buccaneers.
Yeah. This is going to be a good game.
Man, with that defense, 3 points. That's close.
Yeah.
I'm taking that. I'm going to go out on a limb on this one, man.
I'm going to take the favorite and go Tampa Bay. Is that what you're going to say?
No. I'm going to go Rams.
Go out on that limb.
I'm going to go Rams.
I'm rooting for the Rams for Matthew Stafford. I would love to see Matthew Stafford at least make it to the Super Bowl once. Because I feel like he's had won a hell of a career, but because he was in Detroit, nobody's paid any attention to it.
None.
But that's what we talked about before.
And the Buccaneers are depleted injury-wise. They're missing like their center, their right tackle. So the Rams will probably bring pressure. So I think the Rams have a chance. But I just have a hard time betting against the Buccaneers.
Look, I know I picked the Rams and I'm sticking with them, right? But like if you've ever seen any clips of Tom Brady on his Men in the Arena thing on ESPN Plus, he is the most petty Michael Jordan-esque person, like where he finds anything to get angry about. And like him having a like this man won Super Bowls with Troy Brown. Like I don't pick against Tom Brady easily. That's not. I'm just saying like Thomas Brady. I don't know what the fuck his middle name is, but I'm sure he has like 6 of them. I'm gonna go like Thomas Emmanuel Brady. I don't fucking know.
The 18th.
Emmanuel is that your final answer, sir?
that's my first guess. It's not my final answer. How about that? It's my first guess. But I'm going. I want to go Rams just to see somebody new because it's nice to see something new happen, man. Like it's cool.
Well, I'm rooting for them, but I don't think that they'll win.
Yeah, as a betting man, you're going with the Bucks.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
Oh, I was close. It was an E.
Were you?
There was an E in there.
There was an E, motherfucker. What?
I guess.
Like if this was Wheel of Fortune, I would have got a vowel, bitch. Fuck you. How about that?
Since I'm not betting, I'm going with the Rams. If I was putting my money down, I pick the Bucks.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, exactly. We're picking. I'm picking the Rams.
But I'm picking the Rams. I've been watching
Tampa.
Stafford. I've been a fan of Stafford for a long time, and he was just lost in Detroit. I mean, it was fun to watch him because he had some receivers to throw the ball to, so that was fun. But watching 3 and 13 teams or 2 and 14 teams isn't any fun to watch. And he started off hot, and I think he had 4 games where people thought that he had 4 terrible games. So his first 4 games, I think he started off hot. Yeah, this season.
Yeah,
and then the next 4, and then the next 3 or 4, he stumbled. But I mean, the last few games of the season, he's been playing well, man. And
that Buffalo Kansas City game, that thing is close, that line.
Oof, yeah.
Ooh, wow. 2.
That Buffalo's plus 105, KC minus 135. So KC is the favorite. And
I'm pretty sure that if the Bills were playing at home, they'd probably be favorites.
I think so too.
I got Kansas City.
It's hard to pick Kansas City for me this year because they've been they've been playing better the second half, but they were up and down for a lot of the first half and maybe a little bit more than that.
I'm rooting for Kansas City, but that Bills defense.
Yeah,
that Bills defense is serious.
I think I'm going with the Bills.
Buffalo. Yeah, so am I.
I want Kansas City to win though, but I think Buffalo wins.
Oh hell yeah! I want to go on and talk shit to Bills Mafia.
Yeah, that's why I got Kansas City. Like I will never rock with Bills Mafia just to see you talk shit to them. Like, I'm going Kansas City with that one. I stick with. I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan. I used to see him at Texas Tech when I used to watch random Saturday afternoon games of college football, and he's throwing for like 750 yards and some wild shit like that.
Baker Mayfield throwing for like 500.
Exactly. So I'm rocking with Pat Mahomes. It's one of those, like, I stick with like Pat Mahomes and like Steph Curry just because like I saw him in college. You know what I mean? Like I saw Steph when he played at Davidson.
You watched Davidson?
I watched Davidson, son, 100%. Son, I was like,
I watched stuff at Davidson
because I was really into college basketball when Steph was in college basketball. And I would watch a lot of because it was around the same time.
I don't even know where Davidson is located. Where's
North
Davidson?
Carolina?
Is it in North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Hey, let's get this right though. He didn't watch Davidson. He watched Steph while he was at Davidson.
Very different.
He hasn't watched any Davidson games since though.
I don't even know if it's still a university. Like it could have got closed down. I have no idea. I have no idea. Look at that. All right, I got KC.
Yeah, we already.
I don't know if, like, let's say if it was Tennessee, Kansas City, if that happens, that's gonna be a tough one for me because that's gonna be an extra week of Derrick Henry, like getting back into the flow. I don't know if I don't know. I can't go against Tennessee in any of it, man.
I don't know if Buffalo beats Kansas City. I think Buffalo makes it to the Super Bowl. As much as it pains me to say.
Oh God, son, you know what? Like if Bills Mafia is watching this, they're gonna take this clip and like use it. Like, oh, you talking that shit now? Look what you said on the podcast. So,
but look, we acknowledge it though. The Bills are, and we acknowledged it last podcast. The Bills are for real. Josh Allen definitely proved. I hadn't seen him playing in a few weeks, and again, I just forgot how huge, how big that dude is, but how mobile he is as a big guy. And I mean, he can throw the ball a little bit too. He's the real deal. I think Danny finally admitted that last podcast.
No, what I admitted is that he's changed,
backtracking,
and now you do not have to be accurate in the pocket like you used to. Now, as long as you can throw on the run, you're good, and that's what the NFL has become. If this was 15 years ago, Josh Allen wouldn't be in the league right now because he's an inaccurate passer in the pocket.
Yeah, on the move when you're buying time. Yeah, it's different.
Fuck Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. He was waiting to say that, right?
Yeah. He waited till like the screen got big and like make sure they see me say it. They know who said it. That's crazy. Hey man, before we wrap this up, we got some great news today. March 27th, the US plays Panama in Orlando, and we will be at that motherfucker. Now I'm trying to figure out are we gonna do jerseys, t-shirts? I don't know. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I'm wearing a USA shirt. And I have a Panama flag, so this both
I
my
think you should
countries,
get
man.
a USA flag tatted on your forehead.
No, I'm definitely not gonna get tatted. That would be stupid.
Your forehead's big enough where you could probably get the USA and the Panama flag on there.
No, I could just split them, like put them on on the staff and everything on my fucking face, bro. How do I show up to work with a tattoo like that on my face? Like the fuck like I'm about to be a SoundCloud rapper.
Don't you guys wear like the little scrubbed like headpieces?
Yeah, but I still have to walk into the building, man. Like I don't
walk in wearing it.
No, that would be fucking weird. Nobody, you wear that in the up and the. Nah, I keep it on my. I felt weird getting my arm tatted. I was like, is that gonna be okay? And I was like, you know what? I looked in the mirror, and go, yeah, fucking do it. Who cares? People just ask what it is, and you just move on. But yeah, man, we going. We all in, right?
Yeah, I'm going with the third option though. Not jersey. I'm going with no shirt. I'm just gonna go painted Colombian colors. Neither one of those damn teams. Let's fuck U.S. men's national team until 2026.
That's his Bills Mafia comment right there.
Are you a traitor? Do you not root for the U.S. men's national team?
I don't think I ever have. I don't think I root for them to get the development of players right. I root for them to get this pay to play BS right, which they haven't gotten figured out. I root for success in soccer, in football, in balompié in the U.S. And you mentioned it, and maybe in 2026 it'll change because a lot of these guys have been playing overseas since they were 13, 14. They're like 18, 19 now. So hopefully it'll be different in 2026. But we've been saying that for years. Oh, it'll be different this year. It'll be different 4 years from now.
2016, I said 10 years, 2026, things will be different. And then when I found out that the World Cup was going to be in the U.S. in 2026, any little doubt that I had went away. I was like, 2026, it's our year.
Yeah, but now
to the Final Four.
Because we're going to play the refs.
Now with this coach. It's got to be a different coach.
We have. Look.
No, I think it matters. I think he can cost us a game.
Any team that hosts the World Cup make crazy runs. Like it could be Ethiopia, Russia. And they'll make it to the Final Four somehow. It's crazy. Like the home field advantage.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. I have absolutely no doubt. Final Four, 2026.
Lock it in. All right.
Lock it in.
Not with this coach. I don't think with this coach. I don't think this guy's the coach by 26. I think it's going to be the guy from RB Leipzig, Jesse Marsh.
I don't care who's coaching.
It has to be somebody. It has to be a European coach, a European-based coach. Because if it's MLS guy, I can't fuck with it. I can't. Like the level of talent is just different. It's harder.
Yeah.
We have too many U.S. players playing at top levels to be getting a guy from whatever the fuck FC. You know what I mean? Like who? Like.
But how is that going to change the tactics? Tactics are tactics, no matter who's
quality of player. Quality of player.
Okay, but that's going to change the tactics that the coach is putting out there.
Yeah, but if you got to have a coach who knows tactics, not plays fucking Areola, just run fast down the wing, and that's his
okay.
tactic.
But what I'm saying is, why does that have to be a European? Why can't it be an American?
What American? Because first of all, he's American. Just coaches in Europe. Jesse Marsh is American. He just coaches in Europe.
Okay, but you said a European.
Yeah, a European. Coaching European coach. Like he's coaching European in Europe. That's what I'm saying. Not an MLS coach. Like that's you know what I mean. Different quality of coach.
Words matter, Ben. Words matter.
Shut your ass up. With a different quality of player. That's all I'm saying. I can't. I don't like the guy. Like we should have like losing. Being Panamanian and like losing to Panama bothered me. Like it was cool. Like Panama won, but it was like should have never been that close. You know what I mean? Like those are games that like I don't know how you draw against really bad teams just because it's tough. So what you're saying the team is weak? Like the fuck out of here. Listen, that's a different podcast for a different day. Hey, we'll do more. We'll do more in I think January or February when the next round of games happen.
Yeah, there's another round.
Yeah, first game is Canada in the next round. So that's in Canada. It's gonna be a tough one.
Hey, you know what else is happening Saturday? UFC 270.
And nobody knows, bro.
Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane.
And that's it, right? I don't even know who else is on that card.
Brandon Moreno and Davidson Figueiredo for the third time.
No. I'm gonna have to find a link for that one. I mean, there's no because I saw a thing that the Francis Ngannou's leaving after this too. So
if he doesn't lose, he has to stay and defend the title. Yeah,
because he wants to fight Fury, just make money, which is smart.
I mean,
these fighters ain't getting paid shit.
Why don't these fighters just walk out? I mean, not walk out, honor their contract, but hell, Usman can make money elsewhere. I mean, you got Tyron Woodley making $5 million to get knocked out by one of the Paul brothers, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Come on. Usman's making money, but I don't think he's making $5 million money. Mm-hmm. You know, McGregor is the one that was making that kind of money. Maybe John Jones at one point, maybe, but I don't think anyone else is making that kind of money.
No, nobody else. And they get billions of dollars. That's what owners do. Yeah, I'm not watching that shit. I might catch a highlight, but we'll see.
And they raised the price of pay-per-views by $5.
So $74.99 now?
So whatever it was is $5 more. Yeah.
Oh,
that seems like a dumb business strategy for a sport that's dying to raise the price.
For sports that's niche, for sure. Yeah, it's not smart.
Dana White says it was ESPN.
No, UFC was at its peak. Like was it like 8-9 years ago? Like everybody was talking about UFC, and then when Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey were running shit, everybody was hyped about that UFC. Yep. The Ultimate Fighter. I used to watch the Ultimate Fighter.
2016. Yeah.
That's when they sold it for that $4 billion. It was really off Conor McGregor's name. Before Conor McGregor, there was no guy that they had like that.
Right.
No, but the Ultimate Fighter used to be a big deal also. I used to watch that every season. And then it just died. I think it was oversaturation. They started making like events every Saturday for free and stuff, and it's just like
yeah, they got the
that's why the NFL
pay-per-views.
is never gonna die.
Yeah, it's very like or college football. You're getting 11 to 14 games if you make it all the way to the championship.
So
that's it.
12 3-hour games for a whole year. Those 3 hours are gold.
And UFC's like
the NFL.
UFC's like 100 events and like 6 hours each. Who the fuck wants to watch 600 hours of content? Like, and
the good thing about the UFC is that you could sit down and watch 2 random fighters and be entertained.
Yeah,
that's what's good about the UFC. But some people like me need a rooting interest. And if I'm not rooting for anything, I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, but I mean that is the thing about the UFC. That's what draws people, right? Even casual fans. Like sometimes in football, you're gonna have a terrible team matched up with a great team, and it's just not gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be a 42-9 game,
right?
Or it's gonna be a bunch of field goals. 2 terrible teams, not even good defenses. They just can't score. In the UFC, and it happens sometimes. You have just bad fights, but most of the time you'll see people that are out there competing
for sure,
whatever level.
I remember
beginning guys or elite guys.
I had my son at Disney with me back in November, and we had taken him to the Rainforest Cafe, and that lightning and shit like traumatized him, so he couldn't sleep at night. It was like 3 a.m, and he wanted to leave because he wanted the lights on. So I took him down to the lobby, and they had a big ass TV with a couch there. But I sat down and just started watching a random UFC fight. No idea who those people were, but I was entertained while I was just sitting there with him because it was an entertaining fight. No idea who they are, but like when you see 2 people fighting, it's a thing. Also, this one chick, she fought that night randomly also, and she retired that night. Man, I wish I remember what her name was. She used to be pretty. Random thought.
Misha Tate?
Yes, Misha Tate. And I was there in the lobby watching her last fight. She retired that night.
Is everything all right? Room service took care of you?
I think I'm being too loud in the hotel I'm staying at, so they're calling.
Oh, this is entertaining. How loud is this guy talking on his? You remember how he told you that, hey, you got your headphones on, and your wife could probably hear you from like 3 rooms down?
Yeah, probably.
That's his problem. He puts on these. I don't know how loud he blasts the music or how loud he puts the volume up, but he must be yelling at his microphone. I'm telling you, like people 3 floors down are hearing this guy.
It was actually they're calling because if I wanted breakfast in the morning.
No. Don't change the story.
No, that's exactly what it was. I am always too loud, but it's like 9:49. There's a good chance I'm screaming because my wife always tells me I'm screaming into the mic and not realizing because of the headphones. That's why I always try to take 1 ear off to try not to talk as loud. But yeah, they were just calling for breakfast.
That's actually a good idea. I might try that next time. Because these are like noise. Wow, I am talking really loud. Holy shit.
Yeah, you don't realize it. That's why I always try to take 1 ear off, and I might not have had it. So I thought that's why they were calling. So yeah,
hey, I promise I'm not going to extend the show anymore. I don't got any more topics. No UFC. Nothing else.
No, we good, man.
I'm out.
I'm good. Let's wrap it up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you guys next time. DG, you got anything?
Eat some real arepas.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to be eating some Venezuelan arepas, the real one, stuffed with stuff in there. And the rest of you, please go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, and share this with your friends. If you want to know about real arepas, you're gonna have to go back into the middle of the show. I forget at what point in the show we talked about real arepas, but if you want to know about real arepas, they're the Venezuelan kind, and you're gonna have to subscribe to the pod to find out.
All arepas matter, bro. All right, let's not
right.
be pro. Let's not be pro or con any arepa. Arepas are delicious any way you have. That's the kind of hard hitting shit you get on this podcast, man. Arepas and Encanto versus Coco debates. Keep it like we keep it funny, man. Hope you guys like the show. We'll catch you guys next time. DG, you good?
I'm good. I don't want to keep going with that arepa thing because it'll just go on forever. I'm gonna just let it die.
Peace.